And good afternoon, everybody. This is Tony Fapiano. I'm coming to you from GCTV in an unusual manner. Normally, I'd be sitting in the studio. There'd be 4 cameras, lights, camera people, a director. A lot would be going on in the studio. However, as you know, things are not normal. This certainly is not normal either. What we are doing today is presenting a program about the Guilford Rotary Club and some of the events that they have planned in the past, as well as a new one that's coming up. More importantly, it's the one that's coming up that's going to be very, very important to you. And hopefully the information that we're going to give you is going to be relevant to what you need to know to move forward and sort of help the Rotary Club and the Guilford community to move forward. Nothing has been easy. We know that. It hasn't been easy for you. We hope everybody's healthy. We hope everybody is able to get through this with some peace of mind and some stability. We know that's not the same for everybody, but as best as it can be, the Guilford Rotary Club tries to keep doing what it does. And I think it's distinguished itself over the years as a civic organization that just does a lot of good for a lot of people on a regular basis. So moving forward, I want to now introduce one of the guests that we're going to be speaking to today, and that is Wayne Stasky. Wayne, good morning.
Good morning, Tony.
It's now afternoon.
It's afternoon.
As I mentioned, nothing is normal. Nothing's been like it used to be. So what we need to do now is talk about what is going to be important for the people in Guilford to know about the newest event for the Guilford Rotary Club that you are the chairperson of. And you're calling it Grapple?
We're calling it Graffle.
Graffle.
That's right.
Okay.
Graffle.
Explain that to me. What's Graffle?
Well, the district, basically 790 of the Rotary Club, has come up a great way to raise funds for all the local communities. Brantford, Madison, North Haven, Milford, they're all doing they're raffles. And the whole idea and the whole principle of the idea is to help the local restaurants. As you very well know, COVID virus has really affected them very hard. Most of us are able to go to work and work out of our office and not have too many restrictions. But in the restaurant business,
not always the case. You hopefully most. But go ahead.
Yes. In the restaurant business, mandates came along where they could only have up to 25% capacity or outside seating. And then the most important part, the fear of going out to a restaurant has really restricted the amount of patrons going to the restaurants. It was the district and our Rotary Club felt that this was going to be a great fundraiser. The whole purpose of the fundraiser is to help our local restaurants, but also help the people who are affected by COVID. I've talked to social services, women and family and life. We have over 140 to 180 families right now who are financially been hit very hard from the COVID virus. And our main goal of this whole program is to buy gift certificates from our restaurants to support them, and in turn, give these gift certificates ultimately to the social services and women and family and life from the profits that we make. We have 3 great prizes for people who buy the tickets. I didn't even realize we had 30 restaurants here in town. And
let me stop you there, Wayne. Let me stop you there. Then we'll come back to where you are. You say 30 restaurants. How did the Guilford Rotary Club and your committee, how did you determine which 30 restaurants would actually be participating in this event? What was the criteria?
The criteria is that the restaurant had to have some type of seating, and we basically took out any restaurants that were national chain restaurants like McDonald's or Wendy's, whatever.
Not that we have anything against McDonald's or Wendy's.
No, we do not have nothing against them.
Yeah. We want them to be successful too.
That's right. And but we were really trying to support the restaurants that were owned by sole proprietors in town.
All right. So
And
if I'm going to buy, if I'm going to participate, if I'm going to buy a ticket,
yes,
what can I win? What would be the variable prizes that I might be eligible to win if I buy a
well,
ticket?
you buy a ticket, our first prize is 30 $100 gift certificates
Whoa,
to
I'm on a
all.
diet, Wayne. Go easy.
Well, that's we should have probably had something going to the gym too, I guess, Tony.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
So the first prize is a $3,000 value, $100 gift certificates to 30 restaurants. The second prize is $50 gift certificate to all 30 restaurants.
Wow.
Then prizes 3 through 10 is $15 gift certificates to the local pizzas and just takeout restaurants for a total of $120 value for each one of those 3 through 10 restaurants.
So there's 10 categories of prizes, first, second, and then third through 10, right?
That's
And the
correct.
first, again, if I were the winning person, first of all, there would be an investigation because I'm a
Yes.
Rotarian. Everybody would want to know, why did I win? Okay. That would be the first issue. Once we got past that issue, if I won, my prize would be $100 gift certificates to 30 different restaurants in the town of Guilford.
That's correct.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. Now, whose idea was this?
Well, I wish I could say it was my idea. It was actually our district's idea.
Suspecting it was not your idea, but go ahead.
Yeah. But Branford was the first one in the district to run this program, and they ran theirs in July. And we're running with 2,000 tickets. So you have a 1 in 200 chance of winning, which is pretty good in the real world.
Yeah, but then divide that because you have 10 prizes. It's not really 1 in 200 because you're going to have 10 winners, right?
Yeah. So it's a good, Branford had ran this, and what they did is they gave themselves a full month to run the program. They sold out in 3 weeks. Okay, so the tickets go fast. Matter of fact, today I just went on our donation page. Not only are people buying tickets, but there are people donating money to the program. And this program's going through the Guilford Rotary Memorial Ed Fund. So if you make a donation, it's tax deductible because we're a 5013C. If you're buying a raffle ticket, you cannot take a deduction for a raffle ticket. That's state law.
Okay, so that's a tax deductible donation, I guess, right?
That's right.
Okay, now I want to tell you, there's actually, because I attended 1 or 2 of your meetings, there's actually a subsidiary additional benefit, not just to the restaurants, not just to the 30 restaurants. Let me tell you why. Years ago, there were more retail spaces in downtown Guilford and fewer restaurants. For example, where Centro is. Prior to Centro coming in, there was a women's clothing store called Sunshine by Katie. And on the other side, there was a very nice gift shop called Guilford Traveler. Both of those businesses went out because of retirement, basically. They went out of business. Centro came in. And the whole purpose for that, the landlord at the time, the gentleman who owned the property at the time, said, we have to get more restaurants downtown to help retailers. Because if we can get pedestrian traffic in downtown Guilford to be enhanced, more people walking down Whitfield Street to go to a restaurant, that's going to help the retailers. So that was the whole premise why a lot of the former spaces that were occupied by Guilford Traveler, Sunshine by Katie. There was an attorney that we relocated. There was the Chamber of Commerce used to have an office in downtown. All of those office spaces were converted to restaurants. And again, the premise from the landlord's point of view, his whole theory was that more restaurants brings more people downtown helps not only the restaurants, but it also helps all of the retailers in the area. And it actually worked. Because subsequent to that, all the vacant spaces started to fill up. once they filled up, a lot of the businesses were able to stay in business over the years. So that's a little background of what I can tell you that really hasn't come up in our discussions. So everybody benefits from this, not just the restaurants. You agree?
Oh, I agree.
Okay, we are back. Let me just explain. We had a technical glitch. Again, not unusual for the times that we are in right now. Everything is not the way it used to be. Were this in the studio, we would have no problem. Everything would be going, very nicely. We're not. We're doing a Zoom meeting, which is not the best way of communicating, but it's the only way right now, due to scheduling and everything else that's happening. So Wayne, back to where you were in reviewing. If somebody buys a ticket, they are
Yes.
going to be eligible for one of 10 prizes. Let's
That's
start
correct.
with prize number 1. What is it?
Prize number 1 is 30 $100 gift certificates to 30 restaurants in
Okay.
town.
And prize number 2.
$50 gift certificate to the 30 restaurants in town.
Okay. And then prizes 3 through 10.
Are going to be $15 gift certificates to 8 of the takeout restaurants that are strictly takeout.
And you've spoken to 30 restaurants already?
They have been all contacted. That's right.
All right. And they're all in agreement.
They're all in agreement.
Why wouldn't they be?
No, it's
Makes no
it's
sense
a
not to
win-win
be.
for them.
I would think you'd have more of an issue from somebody who was not included, like McDonald's or whatever, Burger King, like, whatever. We don't have a Burger King. But what I'm saying is there's no reason for a restaurant not to be involved in this. This is a win-win situation.
That's correct.
Okay. So now the prizes 3 through 10 are for what?
Prices 3 through 10, they're basically just to give an opportunity for more people to win. That's the whole idea. Is
Okay. And if I win one of those tickets, what am I eligible to use it on?
You're eligible to use it on, you're going to be given 8 different restaurants, $15 gift certificate to 8 different restaurants.
And they're primarily pizza type restaurants or
They're
Italian
pizza
restaurants?
type of restaurants, Chinese food,
Okay.
something like that.
Well, that's good to hear. I mean, I do a lot of business. I've done a lot of business with the downtown restaurants for 25 years. So I can tell you that they definitely will be benefiting from this. And so will everybody else downtown. And so will the community, because you're obviously aiming to make a profit with this.
That's right.
What happens with the extra money?
Well, that's the most exciting part of the whole program, Tony. For any
I'm not
restaurant right
excited
now,
yet, so tell me.
okay. For any restaurant right now saying, I'm just going to buy $150 worth of gift certificates, it's nice, but doesn't move the needle too much. If we sell out of our 2,000 tickets, we will net out about approximately $30,000. We're taking 50% of those proceeds and buying additional restaurant tickets. And then we're going to distribute that to these Women, Family, and Life and social services. And they're going to find the people who are in greatest need. And they will distribute those certificates to the people who are in need. And they'll, in turn, frequent the local restaurants.
Okay, will the club also benefit with some residual money to go into our general fund?
Yes, the funds will go into, the balance of the funds will go into the Rotary Memorial Educational Fund. Okay, that's where the funds are going to be going. And that
We have a
particular,
lot of different groups that we support over the years. Are any of those other groups going to be beneficiaries? Because we didn't make money on, let's say, Lobsterfest this year.
some of the funds are going to go into other the Guilford Rotary's endeavors. It's the like the Columbus House, where wherever we see the greatest need. There's a lot of times.
Besides that, right?
Right. Rotary typically services other charitable organizations in town they have special requests, and we give them $1,000 or $1,500 and to help them out.
Okay. Now, hey, I see Gary is joining us. He's connecting right now. Let's give him a minute to connect.
Here I am.
Gary, you're in.
How are you?
Where were you?
I had a meeting. Sorry. I didn't know. I thought it was at noontime, and I came in to, and they called. I thought we were going to have it at GT. I never saw Shannon's email yesterday.
All right. What we've done so far, Gary, we got started. What we've done so far is kind of given the public the general information about the Graffle.
Right.
So we know the prizes, where they're going to go, who's going to get it, and how you can participate. What we don't know right now, what I asked Wayne, maybe you can fill us in, if there's any extra money, will that be used for the other groups that we normally support on an annual basis, the other beneficiaries, the other nonprofits in town, the other whatever, anybody
Correct.
in need?
Right.
If there's any extra money, you're the president, your board will decide where that money goes. What do you have in mind for that? Is that part of the plan?
Right. It goes to our regular people that we support that need help. It'll go to other organizations that need extra help now as a result of COVID, be it the food bank or, that sort of thing. So it's wherever the need is most. That's where we'll be redirecting the rest of it.
And your board decides that on a regular basis.
Correct. Yep.
We did not have Lobsterfest this year. Lobsterfest is huge as far as bottom line profit for the club.
Correct.
And the amount of money that then goes back into the community. So
Right.
you got a huge void. Do you think this new event that you're planning and involved in, you think that's going to fill that void?
We're hoping.
You're hoping, all right?
Yeah.
Again, give us your goal. What do you have to sell in ticket numbers at how much a piece, by the way? We haven't discussed how much the tickets are. How much per ticket? How many tickets do you have to sell to reach your goal?
The tickets are $20 a piece. We have 2,000 tickets to sell. We'll net $40,000. Of that,
Gross 40,000.
They'll gross 40. Of that, there'll maybe between $5,000 or so worth of expenses. So 50% of our proceeds will go to over and above costs. 50% of the proceeds are going to go back into purchasing gift cards from all the restaurants that were involved. And all of those gift cards will be given to social services to give out to needy families in town.
Okay.
So in turn, we're helping the restaurants, and
we're serving a lot of people here.
we're helping families in town. The
Right.
rest of the proceeds will go right back into the Rotary account, which is then goes back out to community organizations that need help.
Okay, in case somebody watching doesn't know about the general Rotary account, you are president. You have been president for 2 years. I'll talk
Correct.
about that in a second. You've been president now, and you're in your second term. Are you on salary?
No,
Do you make anything?
not a dime.
Does
None of
Wayne
us
make
do.
anything
It's
as chairman of this event?
No.
Not a dime.
That's important to know, though, because you don't know who's watching. And, in the world we live in today, everybody wants to make sure that everything is done properly.
Correct.
You also have to have a license to even do this event, don't you?
Correct.
How did you get
Yes,
that
yeah.
license? Who do you go to? Who approved you?
The town of Guilford Police Department approves you, and they have the authority from the state of Connecticut to approve raffles.
Okay.
And there's a full accounting of the raffle at the end where they check off on, make sure that it was done properly, and all prizes were distributed as we said they were going to be.
Okay, important to know. I'm sure somebody at home, if they're watching, is thinking about this.
Yep.
Gary, back to you.
Mhm.
You are in your second term, I mentioned, as president of the Guilford Rotary Club.
Correct.
That, as far as I know, and I've studied this a little bit, you're the only two-term president for the Guilford Rotary Club since the very first president in 1954. 1954, we transitioned out of a tri-town, they called it, Clinton, Madison, Guilford, and the president for the Guilford side of that served a second year as the first president of the Guilford Rotary Club in 1954. You're the only one since then. Actually, it turned out to be a good thing because we didn't know about COVID coming. But the fact that it came, I think the fact that you were the president before and during helped the club transition. You agree?
I agree.
What are some of the things you had to do differently in year number 2?
Well, obviously with the COVID and not having, an opportunity to get together every week as we do as a club at our lunch meetings, the Maritime Grill, we had to find a way to keep people together. So we opted for the Zoom meetings. And
Which
we
I
were,
hated, by the way. I hate
yeah,
this.
a lot of people don't like them. And a lot of the younger members are Zoomed out because their jobs are all strictly Zoom now as well. So
Right.
it makes it difficult for people to find the time. But I do try and encourage people, even if you can only pop in for 5 or 10 minutes, pop in, say hello, and then pop back out again. We have had some great speakers over the last
You
while,
have. I have to say you
which
have.
engages people in to come in to listen to the Zoom meeting. We typically have 50 members show up to a lunch at the Maritime Grill pre-COVID. We've been getting 25 or so on our Zoom meetings.
Yep.
Now we have a hybrid system where we're meeting in person at the community center for those that are comfortable, and at the same time, Zooming for people at home. And, we still been getting close to 25 people on an ongoing basis, which to me is fine. I mean, some of the most active clubs down in the Fairfield County way who have similar numbers as us as far as members go in the 75 range, they're pulling in the same 25 people every week to their Zoom meeting. So it's not uncommon. My only fear is the longer this goes on, the harder it'll be to get people re-engaged once COVID is
You know what
over.
that means? You will be president for a 3rd term.
Yeah. I just heard someone say over their dead body, but anyway.
Well, no, it's, you have to have some continuity to get from A to B.
Correct.
And that's, that's what you are. You're the continuity. And it's unfair to put it on a volunteer, which is what you are as president of the club, but somebody's got to do it. And you're it, and you're doing a good job doing it. And we appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
But we do appreciate it. The important thing is that we get the club back to what it was in the beginning, before this all started, because our club, by reputation, was phenomenal. I mean, you have to talk to anybody from any club anywhere, they'll tell you the Guilford Rotary Club was outstanding. And I have to say that the bottom line, that's really got to be the goal when this is over, to get us back to 50 people showing up and enhancing our membership and doing all the stuff that you were doing before. You agree?
I agree. And I think, in talking to a lot of the members, and I've surveyed all the members to find out, why the membership has dropped off and why. And as I said, it's the younger people, they're Zoomed out. They're in Zoom meetings all day. Other people, technologically, they're not that savvy, and it's difficult for them to follow on the screen on what's going on. So I've been trying, to engage everybody on the screen. So when we first open up the meeting, the first 15, 20 minutes is just spent chatting back and forth as we would normally do at a meeting. The thing is, our club is so much fun because of all of the conversations that go on during the meeting, the different comments from one another. And it's a very entertaining hour and a half. And so that's what people really want. And that's what gets people engaged. And so with the Zoom, it's very difficult to do that. So I'm hoping that once all this is said and done, we'll be able to get those back. We have had some younger members stepping up and helping out in some of the things that we've been working on. And so we're really working hard to try and keep those members engaged during this process. And then hopefully, one of them will step up and become the president-elect and take over in the coming year.
Yeah. I referred to the fact that we have not had Lobsterfest this year. First time in 20 plus years, 22, 23, 24 years. There was no Lobsterfest.
Would have been our 25th anniversary.
25th. Okay. We didn't have a 25th.
Right.
What's the prognosis for what's going to happen next?
Like that, let's move that again.
You shut off Gary. Gary, do you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry, I had another call coming in.
What's the prognosis for next June? What's going to happen with Lobsterfest?
Do you have a crystal ball? I don't. If everything gets back to normal, obviously, then we'll be having a Lobsterfest. If not, we're going to have to rethink it and look at other ways that we could potentially do it. I know there were clubs down in the Fairfield County way that actually had a Lobsterfest this year and they didn't have any lobsters. And they ended up raising, you know, $100,000. So obviously they come from a very wealthy area and they have a lot of big sponsors, but there's ways. There's people out there that are doing Lobsterfest that you have to drive by and pick up your lobster. So we're going to have to investigate a lot of these other avenues. That's why we're doing the Graffle. Brantford came up with the idea, and they could see the numbers statistically on how many restaurants are going to go out of business as a result of this. And every month that goes on, there's more and more restaurants that are closing and will not be opening up. So they were looking at a way to help out the community and help out the restaurants. So all of their proceeds from their raffle went to helping the restaurants and the families in Brantford. You know, we're choosing to do half back to the restaurants and the families of Brantford or Guilford, and then our assets that we have over and above are going to go back to the community as well. So it's all going to go back into the community, but just in a different way.
Also, Gary, before you showed up, that there's a subsidiary or secondary benefit to the restaurants succeeding, and that is when you bring more pedestrians to a restaurant, when they walk into the restaurant, there's a pretty good likelihood when they leave, they might visit one of the shops in the area.
Absolutely.
And if they visit one of the shops, that's going to be the secondary benefit, is that the restaurant is obviously going to benefit, but also the other, all the other shops that are suffering equally.
Yep.
I mean, the retailers are hurting like everybody's hurting. Things are starting to open up for everybody, and we're starting to hear more positive comments. But the bottom line is everybody has to kind of work together to get to the end on this thing. And so there's a benefit to a lot of people. You know, when you mentioned the families that are going to benefit from the gift certificates that the two nonprofit groups are going to distribute, that's phenomenal. Think about that. That's phenomenal. These are people that maybe haven't been to a restaurant in a year.
Exactly.
You're going to bring the whole family. On $100, you can go. You can do pretty good. You know, what's been your challenge? Because part of what you do is membership growth and membership retention. What's the challenge in your mind? What keeps you awake at night? Thinking about. We used to have 75. Now we have 70. You know? Yeah. And I want to get that number back up to 80 or whatever.
The numbers don't keep me up at night.
Don't lie to me, Gary. I was a president.
I understand, but I look more at the productivity of the club than I do the numbers of the club. I want the club to thrive on productivity and bringing in money. So the more we have coming in the door, the more we can put out the door to help the community at large and internationally. So that's really the bottom line. And if we can bring in 3 times the amount of money with half the members, then I'm fine with that. You know, we have an elderly club. That's no secret. The average age is well up there. We've been doing a good job of bringing in younger members over the last couple of years. Yeah. I was speaking to one of our new members just the other day. And he wants to get involved on the membership side. He has some good ideas as far as bringing in new members on the membership side. So we already have somebody that's very motivated and very interested in building the club from the ground up. And so that's a great start. And, you know, we have other people helping out on the Graffle with the graphics and so on and so forth. And so, and the marketing side. So it's coming, it's starting to come. And hopefully when things open up even more, it'll be even easier. So,
okay. I see Wayne has left the room, so I'm going to ask you again. Just review. You have 10 categories of prizes. Prize number 1, if I'm the winner,
yep,
and I get through the investigation that takes place after I'm the winner, somebody's going to want to know about this. But what do I win?
First prize is a $100 gift certificate to every restaurant that's in the raffle. So the last number I saw, there was 32. You know, someone may drop out or what have you, but right, I believe we have 32 restaurants that are on the ticket right now. So that's a value of $3,200, $100 to each restaurant. Second prize is a $50 gift certificate to each restaurant. So there's almost $5,000 right there of our prizes. Okay. The third prize, what we've done is we've taken the third prize, and there's 8 winners at the third prize level. So, and each winner is going to get, I believe it's $120 value, and they're going to get gift cards, a number of gift cards for pizzerias and coffee shops and the secondary type of restaurants that aren't full-blown restaurants that we're supporting in the event, but the next year that are hurting as well. So we're going to bring some foot traffic into their restaurants as well.
Okay, and again, the beneficiaries obviously are the restaurants. The secondary benefit is all the other retailers that might be adjacent or contiguous to the restaurants.
Right.
And
The
beyond
big-
that, you're going to give a whole bunch of gift certificates to Women in Family Life and what's the other group?
Social services.
Social services.
Social services.
Yeah.
And they're going to distribute based on what? What's their criteria for who gets a ticket from them?
They have such an increase of people coming in that are having trouble paying their rent, having trouble making ends meet, taking food off their table because they have to pay the heating bill. So there's a lot of people out there that are hurting and don't have enough money to eat in cases. So for these families that are really struggling, it's up to the social services to say, okay, this family needs to have a night out. They give them the meal, they can go out and have a nice meal in the restaurant, something that they can certainly not afford. And it's an uplifting thing for a family. It's not going to put food on their table for the whole week, but it's going to get the family out. And it gets into the restaurant where the restaurant hasn't had to pay anything for it. Now, the big benefit to the restaurant is we're going to take, hopefully, if we can net $30,000, we're going to take $15,000 and purchase more gift cards from all of the restaurants. And that'll be an additional $15,000 of cards that the social services and Women in Family Life will be giving out.
Yeah.
And that's going to
It's
be the big
complicated,
benefit.
but it's simple. It's complicated, but it's simple. Come up with 20
Exactly.
bucks. You got a ticket. You have a pretty good chance. I mean,
1 in 200. You have a 1 in 200 chance of winning something.
Right. Yeah, and there's going to be actually 10 or 12 or whatever the number of actual winners are going to be. So divide that into. I think the odds are pretty good. The odds are pretty good. And even even if not, if a business, for example, wants to buy a bunch of tickets, and they want to give those tickets to clients, is that a legitimate business expense from a tax deduction point of view? You're not an accountant, I understand that, but can you answer that question?
I would imagine if it's a gift you're giving away, that's considered.
You're not giving it to your sister-in-law, you're giving it to one of your clients.
Yeah.
Right? That's another way where somebody can buy tickets in bulk.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if a financial planner on Church Street decided he has a bunch of clients that he wants, or on Route 1 in Wayne's case, if you want to give tickets to your clients, that's a good way to promote your business and create a tax deduction, I think.
Provided you stay within the FINRA rules, yes.
Yes.
There are rules and regulations you have to live by.
Wayne, what do you think about that? Is that a legitimate tax deduction for me if I buy 10 tickets and give them away?
I believe it would be.
I think you should buy 200, Tony.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing we have not mentioned is the website that is promoting this event. Now, I've asked you a lot of questions, but I'm sure there's something out there that somebody wants to know that we have not discussed. What website can they go to get final answers?
There is lots of ways to get final answers. One, at every restaurant that that's participating, all 30 of them, they have our little restaurant insert. On the insert, you can see the insert. It has a QRL code right on there. You just scan it with your phone, and it'll take you right to our sign-up page for the raffle tickets.
Okay.
They can
where are those posted?
These are at all the 30 restaurants that are participating.
All right, but if somebody doesn't go into one of those restaurants,
Okay.
how would they go online and find that information?
It's on every poster, Tony.
Yeah, go
it's
ahead.
on every poster that we have out there. It's also on the lawn signs.
I saw
So
that. They're really
So
nice.
somebody seeing one of our lawn signs, they can go up and scan the QR code right on the lawn sign.
Okay.
Or they can go to our Guilford Rotary website, which is guilfordct rotary.org, I
And
believe.
if that doesn't satisfy everybody, can they call you?
Absolutely.
How do they do that?
203-640-8965.
Wayne,
4T.
what's your number? Wayne, how do I call you with a question?
203-415-7289.
Okay. And what is the Guilford Rotary website address now? It's changed a couple of times since Donald Beckler left. I don't know. I don't know what's out there. What is the website?
It's the Guilford Rotary CT.org, which will take you right into the site.
Okay.
You'll also text Graffle, Graffle, to 203-318-9174. That'll also get you into the site.
And if somebody Googles Graffle, does that come up? Have
It
you
does,
checked?
but there's several Graffles out there.
Well, yeah, but they're not Graffle, are they? The one in Madison was Madful or something.
Mad Raffle, yeah.
Yeah. And Branford is done.
Branford's done for time being, yep.
Okay. Is this an event that you think has legs and it might survive and be used again next year as a fundraiser? Gary, you want to do this again?
Absolutely. Well, we'll see how well we do this time. But no, I think it's a very viable thing to do on an annual basis, for sure. It definitely is. I know Brantford's planning on doing another one as well at some point in time. Yeah.
Another really important and popular event that we run is the Frosty 5K on January 1st.
Correct.
What is the status of that as we speak?
We are going to do a virtual race.
What's a virtual race?
A virtual race is not everyone's going to be together at the start line. It's actually going to be, we're going to call it the Frosty 5-Day. And they're working out the details now, but it's going to be between, let's say, December 27th and January 2nd is going to be the 5 days, however the numbers fall, that you can run. And it's going to be a cumulative thing. So every day you run, you go to the site, you log in the distance that you ran, and the winners will be the ones who have run the most. You can do it as a team, so the whole team does it, or you can do it individually, but that's what we're looking at doing. There's been several out there that have done virtual runs, and they've gone quite well. A lot of people look forward to our Frosty 5K. It's a great way to start the new year. You know, get out and have a nice brisk run, whether it's snowing or raining or frost, it doesn't matter. So they look forward to it. So we're hoping that ritual will live on and that people will still want to do it and support it. The benefit to having a virtual one, every club member can now send out invites to their family and friends that live in other states or other countries and say, join in on our Frosty 5K. And you can register, you know, for our race and be in Canada and run, you know, that 5-day period up in Canada. So we're really hoping to broaden our base as a result of doing it virtually.
In previous years, somebody who participated in that race qualified for, they have a series of races that if you're in all of them, you get something, you get a recognition of some kind. Will our virtual race be participating in that? Do you know?
What? That is a very
I don't
good
know what
question.
that's called. I'm not a runner, obviously.
Yeah, that's a very good question, and we're hoping it is. And the person that does that owns the running store in Brantford, Sound Runner. So I have to get in touch with him because he's very involved in setting up that whole series of 10 races. And when you get that, you get all kinds of, you know, sponsorships and you get discounts on places and so on and so forth. So I have to speak with him to find out if our race will count for that. Right. I know there's a lot of races out there that are going virtual. So my guess is they may have to, if they want to continue to do that, because in the near future, it doesn't look like there's going to be too many too many road races going on.
So this is a do what you got to do, get through it, get to the next level. When this is over, things will start to be normal again. Hopefully, we'll see a Lobsterfest down the road. Hopefully, we'll see a Frosty 5K again. You know, hopefully that will all come back. But if it doesn't, you've got some great ideas. And I love this Graffle. I think that, you know, anybody that wants to help for $20, they get a good feeling just buying a ticket. Forget winning, just buying the ticket and knowing that every penny of it is actually controlled by you guys. And I wanted to make that, I don't know if you were present when I discussed that, but I know you had to apply for some sort of license to do what you're doing. And somebody is overseeing everything. And
correct.
I mean,
This is all run,
as far as I'm concerned. And always has been. But you always want to make sure that you satisfy all the naysayers too. And there's many of them out there. So.
Yeah.
All right, where are we? What else do you want to talk about? What did we not talk about? We covered a lot of ground.
Well, on the Guilford Graffle site, we also have a donation page where if you choose just to write a check to the Graffle, you can do that versus buying tickets. And I just checked today, we got 3 donations, a 50, 100, and another $150 that someone donated funds to. So it's a great thing. The other thing, so the other thing to keep in mind that most of the tickets are being sold over the internet, and you will receive a receipt. You will not receive a check, a ticket, and that will be in, your ticket will be put into the 2,000 tickets upon the drawing, so you won't miss out on it. And we will call everybody who does win. And the drawing is actually November 23rd, 6 o'clock. It's going to be televised at the Maritime Grill, and we'll contact everybody who has won.
How are you televising it?
We are going to have GCTV. And
okay, it'll be recorded. It won't be live, but it'll be recorded.
It'll be recorded.
And then we're also going to stream it live. We're going to stream it live on Facebook. So it will be streamed live on Facebook.
You paying attention, Shannon? Shannon Gale is the operations manager at GCTV, has been for, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 years now. But the bottom line is Shannon is the one that makes all the GCTV connections and all that technological stuff actually happen. So you are paying attention, right? Nod your head. I can see you. All right, good. All right, where are we now? What else? That was good information, Wayne, that we did not cover. So I'm glad you added that.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, the 2 raffles that have taken place already in other towns, the biggest challenge is selling the hard copy tickets. And by law, we have to sell 25% of our tickets, which is 500 that we have to sell in hard copy tickets. And given the COVID, well, that's just it. So given the COVID situation, it makes it difficult for people to get out and sell. So we're asking our members to try and sell to family and friends, you know, that they can then get rid of some tickets. If you'd mentioned about businesses, if they want to buy a bunch of tickets and give them out to their employees or their clients, we would ask that they contact us and ask for those tickets in hard copies, so they can get the tickets, write them out, and hand them to the people that they want to give their tickets to. So the hard copy makes better sense that way. Helps us get rid of the 500 tickets. I have, you know, my.
What happens if you sell a whole bunch more on the internet? Why do you have to sell 500 of those?
Tony, on the internet, there's only 1,500 tickets available. So even if someone came in and wanted to buy 2,000 tickets, they can only buy 1,500 on the internet. The other 500 are the physical tickets.
Okay.
So for a total of 2,000 tickets.
All right. Now you're going to be distributing tickets, the hard tickets, to club members.
Yes,
you're going to do?
That's right. We're
So how do I get my stack? Let's say I want 10 tickets. How do I get them?
For all club members watching this, if you haven't received them, call my office. I'll even hand deliver them, but we'll get them to you.
Okay. And we'll keep social distancing and
That's right.
Sanitizing
Mask
and
wear.
everything else, right?
Everything
Exactly.
else.
Okay.
I, for example, if you know of any businesses, for example, my hairstylist is very excited about the raffle. She's putting posters up in her shop. She's going to have physical tickets there to sell to her customers when they come in. So I'm going to leave her with some tickets.
What about the
You know,
restaurant?
well, the restaurants as well. I mean, I know in the past, again, the problem is keeping track of where the tickets are at any given time. So if restaurants think that they can sell them, then we can leave a stack of tickets, not more than 5 or 10. We don't want to be leaving tons of tickets laying around. When people are in the restaurants, they can scan the QR code right there and buy their tickets online and be done. They don't have to have the cash to buy the tickets. So again, we're making it as easy as possible. So if you know of a business that has a lot of traffic, then that's a potential place to have someone sell tickets. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a great event. I believe it's going to be very successful. And I think you guys are going to hit the goal and maybe go beyond. That would be nice. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a fun thing. And I can see that so many people directly or indirectly are going to benefit from this. And it might be a program that you'll continue. So until we have Lobsterfest back in shape or whatever it is, this one is not competing with anything. We can do this. And you know, the time of the year that you're doing it I think is good too, because it's before the holidays. These could actually be holiday gifts. If somebody wants to give someone 2 tickets as a gift, you know, if I want to buy my kids a ticket for their family, that's a gift. So that's another thought that somebody might consider, that this is also a very viable gift if you want to buy 1 or 2 or 10 or whatever you think you need, and give those as gifts. And I don't need another sweater. I mean, you know, I got enough sweaters. But if you want to, you know, buy it, use that money for a different purpose, for a good purpose, where a lot of people are going to benefit. If you're watching at home, think about that. The Guilford Rotary puts everybody else before themselves. Our motto is service above self. And this is an example of service above self at the highest degree. Wayne, thanks very much for participating. Gary, anything else that you want to say before we end this?
Nope, just graffle.
Okay.
Get out and buy your raffle
I
tickets
saw
now.
that.
Yes,
saw that.
raffle,
I didn't know
raffle,
what you were saying. But yeah, I get it. All right. Hopefully at the end of this, November, what'd you say, 23rd?
November 23rd is our drawing, and the last day to buy tickets is November 18th.
Okay, you got it. November 18th is the final day. That's an important
That's
date.
right.
Friday.
Good.
Absolutely.
Shannon, we're going to draw this to an end. Thank you so much for helping us do this. Without Shannon's participation in this, we could not have coordinated this Zoom meeting. And this meeting, actually, that we're Zooming is being taped and is going to be aired on GCTV, Channel 18, on a regular basis, right? You're going to give us lots and lots of exposure. All right, Shannon. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gary.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone, for all your help. Much appreciated.
Thank you,
all right,
everybody.
take it easy, guys. Have a great day. Stay safe.
You as well, Tony.
All right.